Welcome to the configuration of the C5DK Blogging Package. This tutorial is about setting up the blog entry page type. First, go to the page type settings page in the dashboard. You need to be signed in with the main admin user. This is the only user with rights to edit page types. Click Page Types under the Themes section. In here, you will find a list of all page types installed with the theme you are using. We are going to edit the content of the blog entry page type. We are going to use the stacks as a container of the content that we will use on the page. But before we can do this, we need to know more about the content areas in the page type we are using. Actually, you can use any page type for your blog. For example, you can use the right sidebar page type. But to do this you will have to copy the page type to a new name. For example, copy the right_sidebar.php to blog_entry.php and add it to the theme. To know more about this you should know a little about the files in Concrete5. Now, let us look at the blog entry page type and its content areas. We need to get the page into edit mode. Click the edit button. You can now see the names of the content areas. Make a note of these areas. In this theme we have the following content areas: the main area, the blog post more area, the blog post footer area, and the sidebar. For this theme we are not going to have a stack for the main area. But for now, if you finished noting the areas, we are going back to the dashboard. We are now ready to add our new stacks and fill them with content and blocks. You will find the stacks under the Stacks and Blocks section. Click on Stacks. You now need to add the new stacks that correspond to the content areas you noted on the blog entry page type. It is totally up to you which names you write here. But for making it more easy to understand, we will give them names that seem logic to the blog entry page. So, the first stack we will give the name C5DK Blog Entry Post More. That way, we will understand that this stack is for the Post More area on the blog entry page. The next stack, we will call C5DK Blog Entry Footer. Again we choose a name that seems logic for that area. And the last stack, we will call C5DK Blog Entry Sidebar. We are now ready to add blocks to our new stacks. We start with the C5DK Blog Entry Sidebar stack. Just click on the stack. In the stack, you just click the Add button and choose Block from the drop-down. We will first add the C5DK blog category list. That will make it possible for users to choose blog categories to filter your blog pages. If this is a new installation as we have here, then you will see some sample category content. We will show you later how to edit the categories. Next, we will add the tags block. That will enable users to see and use a tag cloud. Let us give it a title. And let's display a maximum of 20 tags in the cloud. You can of course choose whatever values in here, but for this demo we do as this. We also have to choose a search page, where we can search blog pages by our tags. But because we have no search page yet, we will do this later. Now, just click the Add button to insert the block. We have added some templates to the tag block. These templates will make the tag block show up as a tag cloud. You will find one with white background, and one with a background picture. Now, let's approve this stack. As you see here, this stack now contains 2 blocks. You can always add more blocks later. Let us go back to the stack list. And, let's insert some content into the C5DK blog entry Post More stack. In this stack we will insert the guest books block. But I would like to mention that, on the marketplace, there is several other commenting packages. You can find comment packages to both Facebook and discs. Let's start with the title. You also have the option to format the date. There is several other settings to consider. But this is totally up to you. We will set the capture option. Now, click the Add button. And remember to approve the changes. Now, let's go back to the stack list, and enter some content in the last stack we need. Click the C5DK blog entry footer stack. Here we just need to add 2 blocks. Namely the next previous block, and the most essential block for our blog page. The C5DK blog button. The C5DK next and previous nav settings is up to you. We also added a template you can use. Now, let's add the C5DK blogging button. There is no settings for this block. And remember to approve the changes in this stack. We now just need to add these stacks to our page type, blog entry. Here you simply add the stacks to the appropriate content areas. This block we do not need, so we just delete it. Next, insert the C5DK blog entry sidebar stack, here in the sidebar. And you will see the stack content in the sidebar content area. Let's do the same for the other content areas. As you see, the blog entry page type now begins to look like a blog page. We just need to do one thing more. First, be sure that you have a content block in the main area. Here you need to go to the custom template in the context menu. Be sure that you give it a block name as here. Be sure that it's exactly blog content. If this is not correct, then our blog package will not work correctly. Okay, let's save our changes to this page. The page is now ready to blog. But there's one thing more to consider. Sometimes you do not want the blog entry pages to be visible in your menus. This is achieved by going to the properties for this page type. And here set the proper attribute. Oops, not that one. You need to set the exclude from nav attribute. Remember to add the check mark. You can now save the properties for the page. The blog entry page type is now ready. And you are ready to set up other things, such as users, groups and permissions. Thanks for watching this tutorial, and we hope to see you in the next.